All right, welcome back, everybody. My name is Aaron. I am the Brick Scavenger. It's Bricklink Tutorial Tuesday. Thank you guys for joining me today. I got some great feedback from last week's video. It was an introduction to Bricklink, and a lot of the comments were, hey, like that's not how I would go about searching for those 3 items, or you should be using wanted lists. And while I totally agree with all of that, the purpose of last week's video was just an introduction to Bricklink video, and I didn't want to get too into the details of things like wanted lists or anything too complicated. I just wanted to give people a sort of overview of what Bricklink is. But I do believe that wanted lists are super valuable, and I figured, hey, let's talk about wanted lists today. All right, so let's imagine that I wanted to create a little farm area in my city. Okay, and for my farm area, I need a pig, I want a pitchfork, and I want some fencing. All right, so that's kind of what I have envisioned for my little farm area. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to go into the parts area and look for a pig. I'm actually gonna go under animal land right here. You can see there's a lot of categories here, but pigs are animal land. And oh boy, there's a lot. In fact, there's 10 pages worth of stuff. You could browse through this if you wanted, but it seems like a lot of work. So I'm actually gonna go up to the find. I'm gonna type in pig and I'm gonna hit go. And you can see that there are a variety of pigs that fall under the animal land category here on Bricklink. I'm kind of digging on this one. Let's pick this one right here. When I pick this one and I click on that link, you can see it pulls up the pig. You can see there's a bunch of pigs for sale by sellers around the world on Bricklink. Before I go too far though, I need to figure out what color pig I want. It could be a nougat pig. Oh, he's kind of cute. I'm gonna go with the bright pink pig. Okay, so let's say I want this bright pink pig. Now I'm not gonna go searching for stores that have the bright pink pig because I'm hoping to find a store easily that also has a pitchfork and some fencing. So I'm actually gonna go over here to add to my wanted list. I'm gonna click on add to my wanted list. And this is where you can first create a wanted list and then add whatever items you want to it. So over here, I'm gonna hit create new wanted list and I'm going to call it, farm, okay? And I'm gonna hit create. Now notice now we have farm amongst my list of wanted lists. Now, when you're adding something to a wanted list, you need to make sure that the correct one is highlighted. If I have Simpson's house highlighted, I'm not gonna add the pink pig to the right list. So I'm gonna go down and click on farm. And I'm gonna go over here to add to wanted list, okay? So I have now added the pink pig to my wanted list, all right? But not done yet because I'm gonna go back to Bricklink and I'm gonna go to parts and I'm actually gonna go to fencing now and I'm gonna look for some fencing. Bricklink has a wide variety of fencing, and so you could pick and choose what fencing you want. I kind of like a basic fence, so let's pick on that one. And I need, once again, to choose what color fencing that I want this to be. I was just gonna go simple white fencing. All right, so there's some white fencing. And once again, I'm going to add to my wanted list. Now this is where I have to make sure that I have clicked on farm to make sure it gets added to the right list. So I'm on farm. And I'm gonna hit add to wanted list, okay? So now I've got the pig and the fencing on my wanted list, but I'm gonna go for pitchfork. And I don't know, like if I go to Bricklink and go to parts, where is a pitchfork gonna be? That seems like a lot of work. So I'm actually gonna use the search bar. And I'm gonna go to pitchfork and search, okay? Here you can see there's a variety of pitchforks. I'm just gonna pick one that seems to be a minifigure accessory. All right, I want my pitchfork to be the newer version of the brown color that Lego uses. They call it reddish brown. Here is that, okay? And I'm going to hit add to wanted list once again. Again, I don't want it to go to default. I want it to go to farm, so I'm gonna hit farm. I'm gonna hit add to wanted list, all right? And now in theory, I have all 3 pig, fence, and pitchfork on my wanted list. So let's go shopping. Up here in the corner, I'm gonna go hover over this want, and I'm gonna hit wanted list, okay? And here is a variety of wanted lists that I have generated over time, but the one we're talking about today is farm. So let's click on farm. And here is my wanted list with a pig, a pitchfork, and a fence. Okay. So what I would like to do is buy all of those, ideally from one store. It's possible I might have to buy it from two, but ideally from one so that I only pay one shipping charge. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on this green box, buy all. And when I do that, Bricklink is going to generate a list of stores that have at least one of the items in your wanted list, okay? Ideally, it shows 2 or 3, but it's going to show anything that has at least one, all right? It's going to prioritize stores that have as many of the items on your wanted list as possible, okay? Now, you will notice that prioritized above that is any stores that you have on your favorites list. We're going to ignore that for right now. But Minifig Adventures just happens to be one of my favorited stores, okay? You can search in the US, you could search in North America, anywhere in the world. I'm going to limit it to USA stores for now, okay? So I'm going to look at this unique lots category here. You'll see that these guys all have 3 unique lots. And since I had pig, fence, pitchfork, 3 unique lots, that means that all of these stores actually have all of the items that I was hoping for. So that's good news. Let's just click on the first one, a grateful brick. Okay, I'm actually going to click on select. And you'll see that indeed he has all 3. He has 4 of the fences. Each one costs 22 cents. He has 1 of the pitchforks for 22 cents, and he has 5 pigs actually for $2.85. Those prices are pretty good, I feel like. Here's the problem. I was kind of hoping to build a bigger fenced-in pigsty than just 4 fences. So I don't think a grateful brick is going to work for me because he just doesn't have as many fences as I was hoping he would have. All right, so I'm going to X out of a grateful brick. That brings me to the item count. Notice that he only has an item count of 20. The more item count, or the higher the item count, the more likely they are to have tons of items. So let's just do one with tons of items. Here is around the clock bricks. He's got 276. Let's select him instead. Indeed, he has all 3. He has 14 fences, 208 pitchforks, and 54 pigs. That sounds great. I can build a big fence now. Well, I'm not thrilled with this number right here. I'm not willing to pay $1.17 per fence. Okay, just not willing to do that. I'm not willing to pay $6.44 for a pig. So around the clock bricks is not going to work for me either because his prices are too high despite having good quantity. So that brings me to the next point on the wanted list. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is go back up to my wanted list. All right, and I'm going to click on farm, and I want to show you another thing you can add here that will help narrow down the search, okay? So let's say a couple of things. Let's say that I want to have a minimum of maybe 10 fence pieces so that I can have a decent sized area for my pigs, okay? I'm actually going to click on this want area right here, and I can actually change the quantity to whatever number I want. I want 10 of them, all right? So I actually want to make sure that I am only seeing stores that have, 10 fence pieces. That way, that'll help narrow down my search, okay? I'm not overly worried about the pitchforks and the pigs, but 10 fence pieces would be great. The other thing I'm not willing to do is pay insane prices for these things, okay? So this is the maximum price category. Now, you don't want to send this too low because you're going to exclude some stores who might ultimately prove, that you're willing to shop with them. But I'm not willing to pay $1 for a fence. So let's just say I'm willing to pay, I'd hate to do it, but maybe 50 cents for a fence. When I set this, this is going to then exclude all sellers who are charging 51 cents or more for a fence, okay? So let's just do that. I'm not going to worry about the pig or the pitchfork for now. But I have now adjusted the search a little bit. So first I'm going to save this to make sure that those numbers stay in my wanted list. And now I'm going to buy all again. So now we should see some people eliminated who are charging, a lot for a fence or don't have enough fence. Okay, now we went through a grateful brick, remember. He just didn't have enough, okay? But let's look at A Brews Bricks here. Okay, A Brews Bricks. Let's take a look at him. Okay, whoops. I need to go back. I pushed the wrong button. Sorry. I actually clicked on his store link. I want to hit select. Okay, so here we are under the fence. You'll see that he actually has 25 available fence pieces, so that's great. This defaults then to whatever number you set in there. He has 52 pitchforks, and notice the pricing here is quite good. The pigs are actually pretty cheap, right? And so now, let's say that I want all three of those things. I'm going to hit confirm selection. What that's going to do is it's going to generate a cart up here for Abreu's E-Bricks, all right? And so now I am on my way. But I'm still a little worried that Abreu's Bricks here may have like an insane shipping charge or might have fees that I don't like or terms that I don't like. Maybe he, ships once a year or something like that. So I just want to check in and make sure it's going to work for me. So I'm actually going to click on Abreu's Bricks here and go into his store. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to do is make sure I add the things from my wanted list into my shopping cart within his store. So I'm actually going to go to his shop. Okay. And then down just below that, I'm actually going to go to my wanted list and I'm going to do only the wanted list for the farm. And you can see now, great. Okay. So let's do, I'm here. Maybe I'll get a couple extra fences. And this is a slippery slope. Of course, it happens all the time, but maybe I'll do 15 fences. I mean, I'm already going to pay shipping. And maybe I'll toss a couple extra pitchforks in there. I still only need maybe 2 pigs for my farm. So once I've adjusted those 3 things and I add the items to the cart, now you can see that I've got $7.59 pre-shipping in my cart. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I'm thinking, Abreu Bricks, how's your shipping charge? Let's see what he's going to do. So I can click on the thing here. I can view cart and check out. And I can see, oh man, he's got a very reasonable shipping charge of $4. Man, that's actually really cheap on the shipping charge. Based on current USPS prices, he's probably losing money on that. So that's really, really cheap. Don't expect to find this from all sellers for sure. But you can see that I've got the 3 things in there. It would be $7.59 plus $4.10 shipping, add in a little sales tax, and then I'd be able to check out. But, and again, slippery slope, but hey, if I'm going to do this, maybe he's got some other stuff for my farm, right? So let's just take a look and see what else he's got that since I'm paying shipping already, maybe I want to throw a few things in. Let's see if he's got any animals that I want. Let's go to animal air. Maybe he's got some birds or something that would be good in my farm. Oh, look, he's got these cute little bluebirds. He's got, I don't know, these are cardinals or whatever. So maybe I want to add a couple of those. Like let's toss in a couple of bluebirds. This cardinal is pretty expensive. Maybe it's a rare color. Maybe I don't want one of those. These butterflies are super cute. Maybe I, want a couple butterflies in there. I'll add those, something like that. So now I can add those to the cart. Maybe I want to look at some plants and see, maybe I want some, to make some corn or some sunflowers or something. I mean, these are only 4 cents a piece. I could throw 10 of those in there and maybe make some, sunflowers in my little farm. So you get the idea. You can add other stuff. I'm going to add those in there. Okay. So you could do this forever, right? You could check out the minifigures. Maybe he's got a farmer in here or something that would look good. I'm not going to spend too much time showing you his store, but just note that you can very easily now, add stuff to your cart because you're already paying shipping. I added a few things. Let's see if it adjusted the shipping charge. Nope, shipping's the same. So now I could go ahead and proceed to check out, and I have found everything that I needed for my farm, pitchfork, fence, and pig, all in one location using a wanted list. Okay, now you may not get that lucky all the time, and the more things you have on your wanted list, the less likely you are to find them all from one seller. You may end up needing to buy from multiple stores if you have a large wanted list. So just keep that in mind. Again, this was just an example of how you can use a wanted list to help you find sellers who have some or all of the items that you are looking for. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you very much for joining me on Bricklink Tutorial Tuesday. If you're enjoying the Bricklink tutorials, or you want to see my Lego collection, my minifig walls, our marble racing that is made out of Lego track, the minifig hauls, all sorts of fun stuff, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to help our channel grow. My name is Aaron. I am the Brick Scavenger. Thank you for being here today, and we'll see you next time on the Brick Scavenger channel.